So to begin with, right, in order to engage in philosophy of religion, we have to have some idea of what religion is, right? Um, so a broad understanding of what religion uh, is going to be what guides the questions and parameters of what a religion seeks to do. And religions, generally speaking, are uh, worldviews that have both an existential element and a soteriological element. Right? So the existential element is pretty straightforward. Every religion is concerned with the nature of human existence on the grand scale. Why are we here, right? And what does it mean for us to be here? Um, and the soteriological element is concerned with human salvation, right? It's the doctrinal element of the religion. So, in answering the existential element, you get a soteriological element that kind of comes out of it. And we see this with Judaism, Christianity, Islam. We also see it with Hinduism, Buddhism, Confucianism and Taoism to a degree. Um, you see it in most religions, right? Even ones that don't have like a central view or a central figure um, in the form of gods or goddesses or a singular god. Right? There's still a view about nature and man's place in nature, which is essentially going to be the universe or the world. And something that's also there at the core of religions is the notion of nihility, right? Or the idea that absent uh, within this grand worldview, whatever it happens to be, absent that soteriological element, um, or this absent the particular understanding of how we ought to live, our our own meanings and our own lives are kind of, if not denied existence, they're without inherent existence, absent this, right? And you hear this a lot when you talk with, uh, you know, religious people, like deeply, deeply religious people, or newly converted people. Uh, there's this, I don't want to say fanatical, but in some cases, it is true, true that it's fanatical in some cases. Um, Devotional, I suppose, would be a better word, right? Devotional sort of tilt to their believing. Um, and there's something almost desperate, right? In the search of meaning in when searching for something to make your existence meaningful, which is kind of what happens when you get to this grand scale consideration that's at the heart of all religions. Like, what's my place or even mankind's place in the boundless expanse of the universe? Um, when you determine or find a meaning, you sort of latch onto it, whatever it may be. Um, so religion as a whole puts in context the nature of our existence and the question of what our individual purpose or even humankind as a collective's greater purpose is. And so even as it's deeply personal, individual to individual, the individual religions themselves are going to be very general in their approach. The soteriological end is going to be the same for everyone who subscribes to the individual religion. The existential answers are going to be the same or similar across all the various subclasses, not subclasses, subclades within a religion. And the notion of what gives our life meaning, what prevents this nihility, is going to be the same within the religions, right? Or within each individual religion. The answers are going to be general, or the answers and structures are going to be general. But as they apply to us in our own lives, they become deeply individual and personal. And that's what gives religion its appeal and power in certain regards. But disregarding sort of the sociological element of that, these are still the three main foundations of all religions. That there's a soteriological element, that it seeks to answer or provide answers to deep existential questions about the nature of our individual and collective existence, and that it has some idea of nihility at its core, that without the religion, in the religion's own view, we have no intrinsic purpose. And so by providing an answer to the existential questions with the soteriological ends, we get a means of avoiding nihility. In most cases, within Buddhism and Hinduism, at least, the nihility is the very foundation of the religion, actually. But that's a different matter. Since we're supposed to, for Philosophy 1301, it's supposed to be focused on Western philosophy, most of what we'll discuss in this section will be Judeo-Christian thinking instead, and Judeo-Christian problems within philosophy of religion. That's not to say that there aren't cognates or equivalents in, like Hinduism, Buddhism, or Confucianism and the like. But the primary framework will be presented through Western philosophers, and therefore that Judeo-Christian framework. It's not the right button.